Hi, Kim. I graduated with Patricia back in '84, and you were so famous right then. It was like we all idolized you. I'm just wondering, in your years in the industry, how do you feel the industry has changed in terms of body image? Do you feel like it's gotten healthier, worse, fluctuating? I know you're doing work about empowerment and
Yes.
body image right now.
Yes, so there's a healthy balance between being healthy and overweight. And I find that, like Dove, and there's certain companies that are promoting a very big, rounded girl, and some women are like that, but I don't think that that's their ideal weight. It's a tough question. There was too skinny way back when I started. I was always, as I said, we were swimming 5.5 hours a day. So when I went to New York City, I was discovered by John Casablancas, who was at Elite. And I remember he said 7 words to me that still stick with me today. You need to lose 15 pounds. And I, at that point, was 5'10", 145 pounds of muscle. And so those words I chose, which I could have not chosen, but I chose to let those affect me. And so I never really feel good enough, thin enough, whatever it is. So that battle, that's a big battle for me of do I eat and do I enjoy myself, or do I deny myself and do well? So I'll tell you a story. I was working with Irving Penn for Vogue. I don't know if you know who Irving Penn is, but he was a famous, famous photographer. He was a gentleman, he was very quiet, he was very proper. And so I decided that day that I was fat. And so for working for Irving Penn, it takes about 3 or 4 hours to do hair, makeup, put the clothes on. He would, any exposed skin, he would put foundation on. So if you had your hands showing, those had foundation. Your ears, he'd put foundation. Your neck, if you had a low collar, he would put foundation. So I remember getting dressed, and they're ironing and the whole bit, and I was standing there, and all of a sudden Mr. Penn says, "Break, it's time for lunch." Well, I decided I was going to be righteous and not eat. So I literally stood there in my outfit, didn't move, couldn't sit because I would wrinkle, right? Couldn't move my hair because I would have messed my hair. So I kind of just stood there, watched everyone eat. So then I'm camera ready because they don't need to do much to me. And I go, he would put people on cubes, and you'd sit down with the paper backdrop behind you. And I remember him looking, and he kept looking through his camera, and he kept looking up, and he kept trying different poses, and you start knowing something's wrong when they're not clicking and you're not giving them what they want. And finally, he looks through the lens, and he looks up, and he says, "She has no life in her eyes," off the set. And I never worked for him again. It's because I had starved myself. So was that worth it? Did I lose weight in that 4 hours? Like, was that important? So there was this healthy battle of what's healthy and how to deny yourself certain things, and then when you should eat and enjoy yourself. And so that's another daily struggle that I go through of how much exercise is too much. I've run 8 marathons trying to prove that I was athletic instead of super skinny. And so I've run 8 26.2-mile marathons. And after the last one, I gained 15 pounds. I had stressed my body out so much that I made too much cortisol, and my body gained 15 pounds, which is really not fair. And so I had to learn that I can't do what I used to do, like swimming 5.5 hours a day. As I got older, I had to be easier on myself, and that all that exercise would be harmful and not healthy for me. So there's a definite battle with me. I think everyone has a healthy set point, which is where your body naturally chooses to stay as far as weight. I find that many Americans are overweight. I think it's our diets and what we see on TV as far as commercials. How much beer and pizza can you eat and stay thin? So if you're watching a lot of football, I just can't look at the commercial when it comes on with the pepperoni and the cheese and the whole bit, right? It's like, no, I can't do that. So that's it. That's one of you picked one of my big triggers.